Instead, maybe using case studies of successful submissions to illustrate the benefits of proactive planning. And so that really is where it comes down to, polling your RAs to say, okay, who is really good at submitting, and seeing if you can get a panel together to have that conversation about what results in a successful submission in terms of preparation and planning. Now, here's the thing. Some of the suggestions for how to do this puts the onus on the RA, and others on the institution, and others on the investigator. And it's because setting up an internal deadline is, like I said earlier, is only part of the process. There are necessarily behavior modifications that have to happen before you can implement, operationalize, and turn grant submissions routine. Otherwise, it's like saying you're going to be fluent in Arabic by December, and your action item and plan is be fluent in Arabic. Simply having the word and statement is not going to be enough. There's a framework, a process, behavioral changes that collaborate together to create that successful turning of the ship. Now, I do want to touch on one thing about having, and this is actually super important, and so I kind of left it for the last because it has a really bad impact. So when an organization has an internal deadlines that labeled as best practices, but they don't actually enforce them, and then simultaneously require that all grants be submitted regardless of their condition, this creates an incredibly dysfunctional system that negatively impacts the institution, its culture, and the individuals within it. It can cause policies to lose legitimacy, and both employees and PIs may see the organization as inconsistent or unprofessional, undermining trust and leadership. External partners and funding agencies may view the institution as disorganized, potentially damaging its reputation, which is further exacerbated by getting fewer grants due to those administrative oversights. Moreover, without meaningful enforcement, resources are wasted in scrambling to meet last-minute demands other than being used strategically to ensure high-quality submissions. Overall, what that means is that no one is giving or getting their best, and ultimately that's going to hinder the overarching goals that many organizations have to increase their research footprint and enterprise. You can't do one without the other, though I'll be honest, we all wish it was so. The fences and ground rules are what makes it possible for us to grow, not submissions submitted at all costs, right? So it's over the years, I've seen this I can't even tell you how many industries. This is not unique to research administration. This is actually a chronic problem that runs the gamut. We see fences and ground rules as something that restricts us, but the truth of the matter is the fences and ground rules are what make it possible for the growth. They make it possible for us to submit good applications that get funded. They are what create the possibility, though we think that as long as we get all the grants out at all costs, that's what does it. So I want you to imagine, if you are getting grants still and you're submitting grants at all costs, I want you to imagine how many more grants you could get if you were not doing it that way, right? That means that what you consider to be successful right now is only the tip of the iceberg of what could be possible if you put these boundaries and guidelines in place, right?